Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me here, the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. Another exciting show on the 1st of March, 2019. Thought about that because I nearly said 1917. No, I didn't nearly say 1917. I nearly said 17. No, wait a minute. 27. 20. It doesn't matter what I nearly said. What I should have said is 2019, which is what it is. So there we are, 2019. That's like somebody's PIN code somewhere, probably. Somebody has a PIN code at 2019. And now we know. We just don't know whose PIN code that is. And if it was your PIN code, I've just exposed you to the world. We don't know what the PIN code is for, though. It might not necessarily be a card. It could be a door code to get into a door. Well, not into the door, through a door, because you go through. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Hello and welcome to the Vobes Show. I'm Richard Vobes. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. It's not live on YouTube. Sorry about that. But if you're watching on the Book of Faces, then hey, here's another face that's just pointing at you. Let me just move something over here, and then I can see if there's anybody actually out there. Paul Watts is there. I see Ian Beddoes, which is nice. Joe Smith, hello Joe. Dean, hello Dean. I shook Dean's hand today, which is very nice. Thank you very much. And I didn't wash it, so I've kept it there, Dean. That is all, you know, what's your DNA and my DNA are mashed. Now I've just been squashing it, so sorry about that. Emily Champion, whose DNA I haven't squashed. And Judith Oakley, hello to you. Steve Blake is there. Steve Pilford, good evening from Kung Fu Central. Cynthia Walder, nice to see you. Linda Kane, hello to you. Ian Beddoes is saying good evening. Mark Green, Terence Dackham, it's nice of you to come on well, we're almost out of winter now, aren't we? Although we've had all that lovely sunshine, we thought we were out of it. Apparently there's some cold and grim weather coming. Have you had cold and grim weather where you are? If so, keep it to yourself. I don't want it. Hello, thank you for joining me. David Henry, David Allen is here. Steve Blakey, Alien Champion. Hello. Is it a key? Yes, it's the key. It's the key. It's the key to life, the universe, and not a lot else. Malcolm Coghill, hello to you, Coggers. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Danny Harris, good evening, Richard. And lovely people. There are lovely people out there. Always lovely people watching the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi show. It's a penance of being lovely that you have to watch the show. That is it, you know. If you're not watching the show, you're not lovely. So that's how it works. It's as simple as that. So consider yourselves a very special bunch of people. You are the Vobes crew. Hee! Only for the next hour. Let me just dive down with the slider thing. Hello to Anne. Thank you, Anne. I put your cheque in the bank today, Anne. It went in, so you probably feel a bit depleted now, the old bank balance. Linda Kane says, have you changed the calendar yet? No, not yet. Give us a chance. I only just turned it on. I only just turned it on, haven't I? I'll do that in a sec. Hello, Maya. Oh, me. Oh, my. Oh, me. Oh, Maya. Hello, Fiona Cooper. Fiona Cooper and friends. Look what I have here. Yes, I've got my new British passport, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. I applied for it last week. The new British passport, here it is. It's very nice. It's got Her Majesty's face all over it in gold relief. And it's nice to have a nice blue passport instead of those horrible red ones. So there we are. I'll be talking about that maybe a little bit later on. Fiona says, good evening to you with a big kiss. George Timpley. Hello, George. Chuff, 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 chuff. George. Boop, boop. Timpani. Not Timpani. Timpani. You know what I mean. Mark Green. Hello to you. Hope you're well. Hello, he says. Glenn Johnson, that's the secret sign for Glenn and I. We share a secret sign. It's not so secret now, is it? Of course. Hello, peeps in we know, in the computer. Stuart Douch, hello, Stuart. How are you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Emily Champion says, I don't share my DNA much. No, good job. Good job. Don't pass the toothbrush around is my advice. Henry David, yes, you got it the right way around. Slapping my head here, thinking I got it wrong. He says it was summer last weekend. Now it's gonna snow next week. Don't say that. I've got a week full of walks all lined up to go and do. You can't go snowing now, Mr. Manring. They don't like it up 'em. No, Philip Croser is here, getting crosser and crosser. And Dave Salsuna and Mr. Kevin Hall, sir. It's very nice to you, Kevin. I'm being extra nice to Kevin because I'm aware that I was not quite so nice at the end of the last show, but I'm being all great, you know, all the bowing and scraping and all the smarmy stuff that people do. There we are. It's very nice to you. Let's go down just a snitch more. He says, Richard, please tone the show down. Yeah, sorry, I'm toning it down now, sir. Toning right now. In fact, I'm turning it down and turning up. Dean Cooper, he says, you're blessed with parcel dust from my hands, Richard. It was good to see you. Parcel, look at those. I didn't think it was parcel dust. I thought it was stardust, Dean. That's what I thought. I thought it was you were covered in stardust as you make your fantastic magical deliveries all over the Worthing area. I hope you got to Goring all right, by the way. Do you ever deliver? Do you ever do liver? Do you do liver on bacon? No. Do you ever do liver at Goring Castle? Excuse me, having a slurp. By the way, Facebook told me it's Mark English's birthday today. I don't know if Mark English is going to pop up, but if that's true, that's Mark with a Q, by the way. Mark English's birthday. So, Mark, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You probably all knew that, but I haven't been on Facebook most of the day. Tend not to go on it too much, you know. I don't know why. I bung my stuff in there. I do a few likes, have a look at a few things, and then whoosh, I get on with my incredibly busy life. I was looking at some wallpaper earlier today. Oh, hours and hours of just looking at it, thinking, that's nice paper. Very nice, very nice. Wood chip. Wood chip. Very 1980s wood chip. Or was it 80s, 90s? Something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Stuart says hello to Richard Vobes and the Vobosphere, which is good. I can't wait to get my blue passport, says Henry. No, I can't wait. Dave Baker's here. And Robert Croser says, who's Philip Croser? Don't you know? Don't you know your brother when you see him? Your long-lost brother. Yes, he escaped as a sperm years and years ago and managed to swim upstream like salmon. And he's probably much more north than Carlisle. He's probably Scottish. Your half-brother, okay, they're new, is probably one of them, in his nice quilted skirt. Okay, they're new, I'm Philip Crosser by the minute, I'm getting crosser and crosser and crosser, ha-ha, Jim lad. Oh, he's a pirate, he's a Scottish, ha-ha, Jim lad. Wait, he's half Cornish, maybe he's half a brother with, Mark Selwood. Yes, Mark Selwood and Robert Crosser's made... Well, let's not go down that tree. Steve Bilfold says, what's this obsession with blue passports? Oh, here we go. My blue passport. La, 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 la. Oh, it's fantastic. Actually, in the back room, I've got one of my father's old blue passports, actually. I've got one of my dad's old blue passports. It's a genuine one, as opposed to a, makeshift impersonation of one. Fiona Cooper says, glad you might like Little Book. Yes, I do, actually. It's a fascinating book, this. Oh, the lovely Julia's here. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you? I'm all right, thank you. Good. It's lovely to see you. Well, lovely to see your name, anyway. Maya says that my current passport is due to run out in May. If I renew, will I get a blue one? No, not yet. Sadly, I think you have to wait 2 years. Mine ran out in... something like 2016 mine ran out, so I don't have a passport currently. I've got an old one, but I kept thinking, no, I'm going to wait. I don't need to go abroad. Why do I want to go abroad? I love this country. It's fantastic. I don't want to go abroad to any other stinking country. I want to stay in this one, thank you. Thank you very much. It is annoying, though, because I'm one of those people... I'm one of those people. Yeah, you know those people. No, I'm one of those people whose passport's run out and I haven't renewed it. And actually, the real reason I didn't renew it was all the time I was looking after my dad's affairs. There was always a chance I had to sort of keep proving who I was. And I knew that if I sent my passport off, it could be away for 3 or 4 weeks. So I needed that passport. Even though it had run out, I could still say that's my passport. But I'm one of those people. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people who still has a driving licence. You know, the green paper ones that unwrap like this. They're like a big green thing. I'm one of those people, That doesn't have photo proof of who you are, because I got mine in 1979. Thank you very much, my passport. And I've had that ever since, sellotaped up. And I've got a passport. So sometimes when you go to these things, and with all the trouble with my dead parents, who, you know, it was very inconvenient of them, who decided they were going to snuff it. And they said, we've had enough of this. And we snuffed off. They snuffed it. So I'm dealing with their estate, and you're having to keep proving yourself. And they say, that's all right. Just bring in some photo ID. Your driving licence or your passport. And I go, well, there's my passport. Oh, that's no good because it's expired. Yes, but it's still me, and it's still a passport. And yes, it is expired, it's true, but it's still a passport, and I had to go through hoops to prove who I was then. I've not changed, have I? No, our rules, no, our rules tell us, no, it has to be current, you can't just do that, it's no. They said, all right then, I can't do that one. That's all right, it's a driving licence. Here we are then, driving licence. Oh, no, it's got to be a one with a picture on. Well, I don't legally have to have one with a picture on. No, but you could send one off and have one with a picture on. Yeah, but I don't want to. I've got one from 1979. I'm very proud of it. And it'll notice all the points for speeding on there, and they've gone out years ago. See, it's nice. All that space there, it's clean. Yes, but you can't prove who you are. Well, I've just proved who I am. Ask him over there. He knows who I am. That's your dad, and he's dead. I know, but he still knows who I am. He can't tell you anymore, but he knows. He knows. So yes, I'm one of those. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Let's do the big unveiling, shall we? So there's February. February, la la la. That is February, and we're now going to move over. Oh, March. March. That's much better. Much better. Here we go. Look at those two clowns. How about that? Just feast your eyes there on that lovely, luscious-looking bald bloke. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's a nice bloke, isn't he? I know there's a rather lovely young filly there. Don't be silly with the young filly. Yeah, it's the lovely Julia. So that's nice. Anyway, Emily Champion says, I've had wood chip. Oh, we're going on the wallpaper. Yes, wood chip. Have you got wood chip? We've had it. You've had it. Have you? It's all right. It's difficult to get rid of. That's the trouble. And they never tell you that when you're putting up the wood chip, aren't you? They never actually say to you, you know what? In 10 years' time, when you want to change, you'll regret that. And you do, because it's very difficult to scrape off. Danny Harris says, Richard, we've still got a paper driving licence. There we go. Marvellous. Oh, so he's. Sue Blount. Hello, Sue. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Martin Snow. My real driving licence is from 1976. There we go. So a few years before mine. My real driving licence. Emily says, my DNA says I am not English. Oh, my passport ran out when I didn't renew it over 5 years, and they sent a new one in 2 weeks. Oh, did they? Oh, well, that's all right. Maybe I can send one off. But it's quite expensive now, isn't it? Excuse me having a slurp. Malcolm Coggill says, I also have an oldie greenie driving licensee from 1978. It's held together with sellotape. Yes, just like mine. I mean, they must see them. You would think that by now it would be a legal requirement, but all the time it isn't. Why bother? That's what I say. Because you've got to go and have your photo done and all of that business. Andy Dalgley says, there is a rumour that the new blue passport is being made in France by a Franco-Dutch firm. Oh, the irony of it. Yes, that's true. That's true. I think it's because they were cheaper, weren't they? It's so typical of the government. He thinks he's Frankie Howard, says Kevin Hall. Oh, no, titter me not. No, madam, please. You weren't bald on your last passport, says Robert Croser. How do you know? Actually, I was. I think. Either that or it was incredibly short. Matthew Holdsworth has joined. Hello, Matthew. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming along. I'm aware that I've missed a whole stinking load. Not the castle yet, but I'll go in the castle soon, says Dean Cooper. Not sure that's a... Hello, peeking in between skating, says the lovely Julia. John Molstad says, good evening, though it's afternoon here. Whereabouts are you, John? Just so we know, you must be obviously in America somewhere, but which part? What else is wallpaper for? Actually, wallpaper used to be the stuff that they, you know, as kids, you wanted to draw pictures of roads and houses. We used to unroll them like that. Or we'd make treasure maps with wallpaper, you know, on the back of it. When I was a kid, when you had imagination and not tablets and iPads and things, you had imagination and you just, you know, poor man's stuff. But it was great back in those days. I used to love that. Maya says, we had wood chip in my parents' old place. Yeah, I mean, the great thing about wood chip is if, you know, you want to sort of fiddle the old insurance, you can set fire to the house very quickly because, you know, the walls go up marvellously. They flame up there because all that wood in there. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it would be, would be. Let's catch up with where we are. Martin Snow says they use your passport picture for your driving licence. Oops, you don't have one. Well, I do have a passport picture, but it's a bit out of date now. Joe Smith says correct, Steve. Evening, says Matthew. And Chris E. Nash. Hello, Chrissy. Chrissy Nash says wallpaper was for backing school books. Yes, that's right. And some of my dad's books, some of his, when I was going through his stuff, you know, in his shelf, some of his old books, school books, used to be wrapped and protected in brown paper. Did anyone do that? Brown paper. Do you remember brown paper? Not brown paper bags. I'm talking just brown paper for wrapping things. I mean, you can still get it, obviously. There's something rather dignified, I think, about brown paper. You know, that is wrapped round a book and then in ink, usually in fountain pen ink, light blue fountain pen ink on brown paper. So it's basically not unaudible. What's the word? Unlegible blue, you know, faded fountain pen ink on brown paper. You know, timeless. That is a mark of history, isn't it? That's fantastic. Large sketches on wallpaper. Yes, Glenn, that's true. That's very much true. You could sketch stuff out. And also, you could get as a child, I don't know whether you ever did this, you could lie it on the floor, get your brother or sister, and then with a crayon, you could draw a life-size version of your sibling. Obviously, they had to stand like this. They couldn't put their arms out or do anything artistic. Or even autistic. They couldn't do anything like that. They just had to stand like this. But it was very handy if they wanted to bunk off school, because you could bring them along in your bag in a tube and then sit them up next to you like this. And oops, they roll up. Just let them down. Richard here. Corinne, my sister, present. And they were just like... Obviously, it wasn't like... you know, like, it didn't have an alpha channel. You saw the surround around it. Unless you cut the person out and stuck them on a pole. Didn't think about that with a bit of sellotape, which was always... Or a bit of Dad's masking tape, which was always nice. Robert Croser is saying something. I'm not quite sure what. Let's go back and see what he says. He did say something, but I've lost it. Meanwhile, David Kill says, great to know Martin Snow is here. Would love to see him in a video again soon sometime. Martin! Do you know, about for a whole year I was saying, where's Martin? Martin, why isn't he in a video? Robert Croser says your calendar could be some of the group, i.e. naked, hiding up behind trees and bushes. Yeah, it could be. Could be done. I don't think people would go that. Sticky back plastic. There you go. That was the old Blue Peter thing, wasn't it? They were the days. Good old Blue Peter. Matthew Holter says brown paper is still making a comeback for wrapping up presents. It can be recycled. The shiny stuff can't be. Yeah. Do you know, I for some reason, years ago, I bought a massive great roll of brown paper. It's in my other room. And at Christmas time, I'm always wrapping presents. Thank you. Get the words out. Presents in brown paper. I love it. People always know it's mine, especially when you're doing a Secret Santa. Steve Pilfold says the proper passports were paper in plain cardboard, but a lot of people keep saying they want blue ones. You'd think you'd want the traditional colour card. Well, it depends when and what era you were brought up, wasn't it? Clearly. I was brought up, my first passport was blue. And it was in a nice solid, I thank you. It was a solid thing. the passport, wasn't it? Not that sort of flimsy, it's like the difference between having a hardback book, like a novel. You know, you get the novel in hardback and it's all very prestigious. But then if you get that flimsy sort of paperback, it's like, that's just a passport. That's all. It's just a passport. Dean Cooper says the book Richard has walks about Midhurst. Oh yes, dated 1923. Fiona spotted it in a charity shop. We paid £2.50. It's an antique. Yes, this is an antique. This book which I've got here, I was going to come to that. It's called Walks About Midhurst by a chap called Frank Tatchell, and walks and rides around Midhurst. And yes, it was published in 1923. It is very delicate. And I was looking up one of these earlier today, funnily enough. Part 1. It says here, you prosecute the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common, but leave the larger felon loose who steals the common from the goose. Like it? Love it. So this one here, Kevin Hall could do this one. And I traced this on Google on Google Street View. There's no map. There's a sort of map here. There's a sort of map here. It says, first walk, time 40 minutes. Leave Midhurst by the Petersfield Road and take the third turning to the left, close to a wall postbox. That wall postbox is still there. Well, it was there whenever the last Google Street View was there. The road, which is called Carron Lane, soon widens out and near a seat turns right with Midhurst Common on the left-hand side. I don't think the seat is still there, sadly. I wanted to do the walk and look for the seat and go, by goodness, where is the seat? I want the seat. Clearly, I should be doing this walk in +4s. On reaching the cemetery at the top of the rise, keep straight, on which the railings are close on your left, and just after they come into end, bear slightly to the left along the cart track, crossing the path just at the side of another seat. The track now bears round to the left and passes an enclosed wood on the right and a cottage called Cherries on the left. Keep straight on the right-hand path, not downhill. I didn't get as far as working out whether Cherries, this cottage called Cherries, is still there, but, you know, it's lovely. Joe Smith says, long-range weather forecast predicts chilly in Kent until the end of March, maybe snow on the 27th. That's me stuffed, isn't it, then? That's no good. Steve Pilfold says, nothing wrong with Artex, kept New Haven afloat most of the 1970s and 80s. Kept it afloat? I think with Artex it would have sunk. Vicky Allam has joined. Hello, Vicky. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're having a bit of a party here. Emily says, it's plain sellotape. Oh, yes, talking about passports. Did anyone else use school toilet paper as tracing paper? Not after I'd been using it, Emily. I'm afraid once I had finished with it, it went straight down into a water closet and was flushed away. Flushed away just past the men outside with their pneumatic drills. We did a bit of that last week. Not when I say last week, I mean the other day. Joe Smith says, have to do something about plastic usage. I will not plastic wrap veg, for example. Stop buying bottled water, by the way. And in the 60s, I used to iron my hair with brown paper. Super straight. How can you how did you get the paper hot enough, Joe, to iron your hair? What did you do? Because if you get it too... Oh, did you do that thing where you used to stick it in front of the fire? Do you remember that when you were lighting the fire? You light the fire and you get a big piece of newspaper and you stick it in front of the fire like this, and then you pull it away and the whole thing is ablaze and you drop it on the floor, and the next thing you know, it's caught the tablecloth and that side of the room, and all the wood chip, of course, now is licking up the ceiling, and only the Artex is left, except that sort of is brittle and snaps, breaks away from the ceiling, lands on your head, giving you a swift headache, a swift one. Glenn Johnson says, love the BBC accent. I thank you very much. It's very kind of you. This is the BBC. Hang on, let's see what let's do another bit. Let's do another bit of the BBC, shall we? Here. Petersfield to Midhurst by the Downs. From Midhurst, take the Portsmouth Road, and just after passing the first milestone, turn to the left to Birreton. Milestone. Can you imagine walking along looking for milestones? From the southwest corner of the churchyard, take a footpath uphill, which goes over the railway tunnel. At the top of some cottages, turn sharply to the left and follow an old road marked by telegraph wires. Oh, they're marked by telegraph wires. That's interesting. This soon becomes Green Lane, and, passing a cottage in the bottom, mounts to Ditcham Woods. Are all these places familiar to... It must be familiar to Kevin. Here, turn to the left, and in a few paces to the right, and in a few paces to the right, and follow the beautiful road round the north face of the hill until it joins a better road leading to Ditcham Lodge. It's at this point, if you have anybody with you, you want to ditch 'em at Ditcham Lodge, and make your way up to Snob-on-Snim. Snob-on-Snim is a lovely estate with lots of fine people in it. Don't know what I'm talking about now. I've got lost in this accent. The Artex... Oh, here we go. Steve Pilfold says the Artex factory was in Newhaven. Oh, it was an actual factory. I suppose there had to be a factory to make Artex. I just thought it was... plaster of Paris with a bit of paint in it. Martin Snow says, some countries you put... Wait a minute, let me read that again. Some countries you put the used bog paper in a bin, not flushed. Do they recycle that, he asked. Well, I don't know. Under brown paper numpty, says Joe. Oh, what, you put the iron... You put your hair in... Yes. Western... Hang on. You're all typing. It's all very eager. Nothing wrong with Artex, says Steve Pilfold. No, yes, you've read that. All behind buns. I don't know what you're talking about there. Hold on a second. Hold on a moment. Let's get to this. Chrissy Nash says, here, family calls. All good. All have a good weekend, crew, and take care. Cheers. Thanks, Chris. Nice to see you, Chris. Have a wonderful time. Right, we've done a bit about plastic. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to catch up because sometimes I miss some of them. We used to use... oh, yes, here we are. John Molstead says, Western Wisconsin, Village of Ontario, on the Kickapoo Village of Ontario, Wisconsin. I've been to Wisconsin. Isn't that the dairy... Isn't that the state, the dairy state of America? Aren't you full of cows and stuff? And isn't up round there the Miller Lite factory? I think I did a tour of the Miller beer factory. Absolute abhorrent place. Steve says we used to use baking tray in front of the fire to get it going. Just pop it up and let it raw. Yeah, and I guess what's happening there is you're stopping the oxygen from coming from the room, and you're forcing the oxygen, you're forcing the flames to go up, aren't you, by cutting off the supply in the room. I think that must be what's going on. Joe Smith says that posh accent was the voice of children's TV in the late 50s. Hello, children. Hello, children everywhere. Now, it's ever so good that you could join me. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Now, please, children, try and sit absolutely rigid. Imagine that you have rigor mortis. Imagine that you are in straitjackets. Shut your mouths. Do not say a word, for we are going to entertain you. Now, I know it's entertaining, and I know it's awfully tempting to expel a laugh or two, but please, children, please don't do that. Really, really, try and keep it silent, because we do like a stiff upper lip. I know that bombs are dropping all around London at this precise moment, and any one of us could die in a horrible and agonising death. And if it is you, as you go from this horrible little life that you lead into a far, far better one, please don't make any noise. Please just be exemplary as you pass your mortal coil. It is very much appreciated. And you, Jones... Will you shut up? I'm so sorry. Little Jones there. It's just causing slight mischief. Sorry about that. It was at my moment there when I went off into Never Never Land. Kevin Hall says, Richard, what is the name of the book again, please? Oh, yes, hold on. The name of the book, ladies and gentlemen, Tales of Old Sussex by Philip Mercer. Published in 1834... No, wait a minute. That book's far thicker. This is a thinner one. This one is called Walks Around Midhurst by Frank Tatchell. And it cost price 1 shilling. You probably can't read it on there, but that's what it says. Price 1 shilling. Anyone got a shilling? It's either that or put it in the metre. Oh, you can read it. There we are. Walks Around Midhurst. And this came from the Kent Arts Libraries, Reference Collection, Tunbridge Library, Local History Collection, Private. It says here, privately printed. Yes, you know when they do that privately printing stuff, don't you? Where it's like, Harold, what you doing in there? Nothing, Duff, nothing. Have you got the printer going again? Oh, no, love, no. It's all privately done. Nobody need know. Nobody knows. And then round the old pubs not in the saloon bar, the other one, in the what's the opposite to the saloon bar, next to the Snug. All these books were probably being handed about. Here we are, got your latest edition of Walks Around Midhurst. Thanks very much. What do I owe you? That's a shilling. Thank you very much. King's shilling, if you don't mind. Oh, lovely. What have we got in here? Let's have a little nice nosy. Oh, the Knighton Well walk. Oh, I know the Knighton Well. Yeah, go down North Street and at the mill, take the Hazelmere Road and pass a crossroad. Oh, I know that crossroad. I stepped on it once. Oh, it was angry. And with the old toll house at the corner. That sounds a good one, isn't it? Looking for the toll house. Where's the toll house? I'm afraid the toll house is no longer there. Or at least it's not operating as a toll. The road passes the workhouse. Oh, those were the days, wasn't it? The workhouse where you had, the toll house where you had to pay a shilling to get along, or 6pence halfpenny. And then if you didn't have any money, you went to the workhouse. Oh, these were the days. Don't tell me next you'll be passing the prison. All the classic things that towns used to have and were proud of. And then enter the woods. Go on for some minutes and take the second gate on the left, opposite a lane which goes off to the right, and follow the road. Not private onto people's houses. Go to Knighton's Well, which is now boxed in. Yes, because you don't want to fall down it, do you? Where's the well? No! What is it? There's the well. Well, I never knew that. What about Beck's Mill and Dunford? Are these names ringing a bell, Kevin? Leave Midhurst by the road, descending from the church to the South Pond, and keep straight on by the road to Chichester. Soon after passing the approach to the LB and SC railway station at the top of the hill, you are ready to... there is a wide view to the right. Anyway, it goes on like this. It's a very nice book. It's very nice. Plenty of bedtime reading there for me. It annoys my neighbours no end as I read it through the wall. Joe Smith says yes, and the clangers. They have brought them back. Oh, I bet. Have they brought them back in CG, or is it stop frame? Should keep off the butter beans. I don't know what that is. That's 5 pence to the younger generation, 5 shillings. Malcolm Coghill says lounge bar. Oh, lounge bar where the posh people drink. No, we don't want to. Yes, no, I'm talking to the saloon bar. Is the saloon bar the Is that where the locals go? I thought the saloon bar was where the posh people went. Jonathan Bluesick has arrived. Kushti Phil, hello Kushti. He has sniffed the book Binding Glue. Yes, I have. Does anyone know what's going on? No. Do I know what's going on? No. All I know is I've managed to get through 35 minutes of the show. Yee! And nobody's written a letter of complaint. So that was very lucky. Dean Cooper says, please can you put on your bowler hat? I don't have a bowler hat. I've only got a red hat here. Here we go. This is a silly hat, this one. Hello. It's very nice to see you all. Thank you for coming by. Yes, that's a silly hat. But it's there just in case I ever need to put on a silly hat. Kevin says, yes, they are, Richard. Very familiar. Oh, are they? Oh, that's good. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you know where they are. We'll have to do a walk together, Kevin, on a video. We'll walk around some of these old walks. I didn't know that Midhurst had a common. Do you go onto the common? Oh, no, don't go onto the common. Not these days, no. I mean, you get a lot of people from the slums. They go down there. But I don't go into the common. Oh, no. I go to the other side of Cowdray Park, don't you know? Cowdray Park, much nicer, with the ruins of that big house and the deer and the lovely Spanish chestnuts. I like to do that. Not the common. No, I don't frequent the common with all the little people. And I'm not talking about hobbits either. I'm talking about the commoners. But you don't just have commoners on common anymore, do you? We don't basically have very many commons left. Evening, says Carl Osborne. Hello, Carl. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Carl. Nothing much has happened. If you're late, don't shut the gate. Let more people in. Steve says, I've just done a 12-hour shift, Emily. I have no sanity to question. Oh, fantastic. There we go. This was ching, ching, 12 hours of this. Can you imagine it? You've got to take your hat off to Steve. He's got the biggest biceps in the group. Martin says, does he mean your piss hat? Oh, pith helmet. No, I'm not sure. That is his begging. Oh, yes, that's my begging hat. What, this one? Please, please. I'll do a show on the internet. I'm reduced to that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reduced to doing a show on the internet. Please give generously. Help me get off the internet. Help me not have to perform and parade myself in front of all these people. Oh, £50. Thank you very much, sir. That's a very nice and generous. Oh, £100 note. Look at that, sir. You know, an IOU. That's nice. What's that? An IRA. Oh, a bomb ticking. Nice. What? Oh. Yes, that is what I am basically reduced to. Thank you very much. Peasants, says, they are revolting. We all know that. Joe Smith says, I have to go, Richard, but thank you. Just one last word. Just one last word, she says. Sissinghurst. Oh, Sissinghurst. Yes, one last word. Sissinghurst Castle is in the process of creating a Greek garden. It needs an Adonis, clearly, much as Vita Sackville West wanted. Oh yes, Vita Sackville West. Wasn't she Churchill's long-lost daughter or something? Don't think about the most beautiful walk around here and... Do think about the most beautiful walk around here and the lakes, early April, beautiful. Yes, I will bring my Adonis body and walk around the Greek garden. The Greek garden in a. I nearly said a turban, but I don't mean a turban, do I? I mean a tapioca. No, not a tapioca. Toga. You can throw Tagliatelle. You can, but you can't make him drink. Yes, would love to do that, Richard. And let's go to Midhurst Common. Oh, yeah, there we are, Kevin. That would be fantastic. We would do that. Let's pick a day and do that. Danny Harris says there's no need for foul language of people. No, that's true. Now he's Oliver. Yes, I'm the twist. Danny says, I used to sing at the Midhurst Club. Is it still there? Oh, Danny, what did you sing? What did you sing? We'd love to know. Do the gallery for old time's sake. I don't have a gallery. For old time's sake, Glenn. Sorry. Don't have it. Here's a picture that came up today. It's a teapot. I'm a little teapot, short at spout. Here's my wimple, here's my spout. The IRA made Sussex the most murderous county for sitting MPs outside of London. Why, did they hide them behind the downs, just in case they had their heads blown off? Danny says, and the Angmering Social Club. I used to sing at the Angmering Social Club, don't you know? Hello to you, I'm singing a song, singing a song. Hello to you, I'm singing a song, a lovely, lovely song. Song! There we are, a lovely song. Dean Cooper says, put your earmuffs up. No, doesn't. He says, Sissinghurst Castle needs a wider driveway. It's long, but not good for lorries. Yes, I don't think you're supposed to bung lorries down there, are you? I suppose they've got to make deliveries, though, haven't they? They've got to get all those Greek statues in their Tagiota costumes. Emily says, not General Tapioca. Yes, the General. He's here himself. A tapioca isn't a toga, says Malcolm Coghill. No, I realised that the minute I said it. Angmering Social Club, says Linda Kane. Do you go to the Angmering? Are you angering on going to you should go in a toga. It's all the rage, don't you know? Everyone's wearing a nice toga these days. Glenn says, I love a social club. Ah. Marvellous. I used to have a club, and I used it socially. I used to bash people on the head with it. Ba-dum-bum, hey! Everyone a gem, but none of them funny. So how are we doing? 42 minutes. I haven't got any games or anything in today's show. So here we are. Here's a nice game. What's in the box? What's in this box from, countersunk Posi screws? You wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah, so I've told you what was in that box, didn't I? Oh, that's a bit of a swizz. Hang on, let me try a different game. Hang on. Here we go. What's in the box? What's in the box? Oh, Osram light bulbs. Yeah, okay. So that game didn't work, did it? How about this one? What's in the box? 1 3/4 dial thermometer. Just, what you got hanging about. Have you got one of these 1 3/4 dial thermometers handy? If you have, put your hands in the air and then you can go. That would be good. Oh, wait a bit here. What have we got here? What's in the box? What's in the can? Super fast adhesive. It sticks all... I'm not using that, thank you. That can go back in here. What else have we got? What's in the box? What's in the box? You never quite know. Something embarrassing is going to come up. What's in the box? It's fabric plasters. Yeah, okay. I think we've played that game out, haven't we? I haven't quite worked on that one very easily. Hang on. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. May have been called a community centre. Oh, yes, that's the modern word for it, isn't it? Community centre. No rushing there, I'm afraid, says Linda Kane. Not rushing there. Not rushing to go there. Is it not very good? Not light bulbs, LOL, says Carl. Yeah, it was light bulbs. Worthing clubbing is quite popular, is it? Does anyone remember the nightclub on the end of the pier? What a horrendous place that was. Awful. I know, light bulbs. Yes, there we go. What length are the posies, says Glenn. Oh, sorry. Oops. Are we still on? Can you still hear me? I just dropped my cup on the floor and it's gone all over my mixer. They're 7 by 1 1/4, approximately 200 of them. Sadly, I have. Yeah, we're still on. You see, I've been mucking about now. I've got tea all over the floor. All over the floor tonight. He dropped his cup and it went with a fright. I just need to get a cloth. Is there a cloth in here? There's a clot in here, but I need a cloth. Hang on a minute. This is the second time this week I've had to make an exit out of the studio. 1 moment, I will be back. 1 moment, please. Come on, light. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. I found a nice bit of old rag here. I've just got to... I know the show must go on and everything, but the floor must be cleaned as well. It's everywhere. I thought I'd drunk most of that tea. There we are. That was spontaneous. No, that doesn't work. Anyway, there we are. Now I've made the floor more slippery. I'm probably going to go V like that. V-O-B-E-S. Vobes. Steve Pilfold says, what about east opposite the station in Worthing? Nice sticky floor. East opposite the station. Oh, yes. East. I can't remember what it was called when I last went in there. I must have been knee-high to a grasshopper. Dave Baker says they had Stern's nightclub in Worthing in the 90s. That's what I was thinking about. Stern's. Yeah, that goes back. That was probably the last time I went to a nightclub in the 90s. Oh, God, how awful. Going to night... Who goes to nightclubs now? I cannot think of anything. You know, it's like when you're younger, you're more stupid, aren't you? Definitely. Throw some sawdust on it. I haven't got it. He's like, have you got any sawdust? I've got some actually outside, actually, you know. Martin Snow says, took me ages to find 6 140 pauses today, 5.5 in English. Well, I'm glad you managed to find them. It's always a bit of a nuisance if you can't quite get that. The Angling Club just looked at an old contract. Oh, right. Thanks, Danny. Got not much to do then if you're looking up old contracts. Dean Cooper says, sort it out. I don't drop my tea there. Well, oh, I won't drop my tea there when I have one. No, you're welcome to come round for a cup of tea, Dean. You're very welcome. If you can find somewhere to park your big... Just park it on my drive. Park it on my drive at the end and then walk down the mile to the big estate. You can't miss my place. Le Cloth Diabolique. Yeah, now it's the cloth soaking wet eek. My puppy makes those mess. Oh, bless. How old is your puppy and what's his name, Glenn? Love the live show. Anything could happen. Yeah, anything could happen. Anything does happen in this show. Dean Cooper says, with the Vobes, that is. Kevin Hall says, Richard, it was a good idea to use your hand towel to mop up the floor. Yes, I didn't use my hands, which is much, much better. And actually, it's one I use for the Essie, to be honest with you. But I just washed it as well. You would not believe. I only washed this yesterday. That wasn't any cleaner, but it was washed because I use it on the Essie. Bless the Essie. It does look diabolical. I'm embarrassed now. I'm embarrassed that I've been showing my finest tea cloths on the air, as it were. So there we go. Oh, Stearns is a hotel. Oh, is it? Is it? It's a hotel. Emily Champion says, I go to day clubs, do you? That's nice. What do you do at day clubs? Awfully nice in the day club. Have a lovely cup of tea. Would you like a cup of tea, Mrs. Jones? What? Would you like a cup of tea? Cup of wee? No, Mrs. Jones. No, not a cup of wee. Would you like a cup of tea and a biscuit? A whisket? Whisket? No, you don't have to whisk it, Mrs. Jones. Don't be silly. Now, you sit down on that chair. Anywhere on that chair. No, not there on the chair. No, that's Mrs. Harris's lap. If you could get off Mrs. Harris's lap, sit next to her on the... that's Mr. Johnson's. No, don't sit there, Mr. Johnson. That's his spiky hair. Oh, Mrs. Jones. Oh. No, Mrs. Jones, please don't climb out the window. We are on the 5th floor, Oh, there she goes. Could somebody call an ambulance, please? She won't need a cup of tea. Steve Pilfold says, I'm not sure how Stearns was so popular. A place of legend in the 90s, but hardly the easiest place to get to. No, you had to go by boat, didn't you? Emily Champion says, I'm due a visit to the Vobes mansions, maybe over Easter. Yes, bring eggs. Bring eggs. When I say eggs, you know the sort of eggs I mean. Robert Croser says, are you having a love affair with the Essie? Oh, me and the Essie. She warms my heart. She really does. She burns my bum and singes my... Well, let's not go there, shall we? But needless to say, it is a love affair. Yes. Kushti Phil says, Hungry Years in Brighton was a good... Hungry Years? Oh, I thought you were talking about, you know, just down and out in London and Paris then. Hungry Years was a good nightclub a good rock nightclub. Oh, that was the name of it. Wasn't there one up in Brixton called the cold store? No, the Fridge. The Fridge, I think it was called. Long drive, says Martin Snow. Yeah, it is definitely a long drive. Somebody said something about a song. Sing a song, a sixpence, a pocket full of rye. Song. Oh, Martin Snow. Snong drive means more space for Rozzers to do all the drug checks. Okay. Steve Pilfold says, when I was a lad in New Haven, the Event 2 at King's West at Brighton, or the Paradox, i.e. the Pink Coconut, were the places to be if you were into vomiting late at night. The Paradox building is being demolished now, I think. There's the Paradox, isn't it, lad? I don't know why I gave you an up north accent. You could have been Robert Croser then, couldn't you? He's got many accents, apparently. Steve Pulford says, no, it was on High Down Hill. Oh, yeah, that's right. There was one on High Down Hill, wasn't there? I'm glad that's gone now. It's such a shame to have that in that nice old house. Linda Kane says, Florida Rooms in Brighton. I bet no one remembers that one. The Who played there, and the Doctor. I'm sure the Doctor was there playing. I'm not quite sure which Doctor. Do you know Ollie Mers, says Reem Hosin. Do I know him? I don't know who Ollie Mers is. He's not he's probably a film star or a singer, is he? Or is it the name of a band? I have no idea. I have no idea what that means. Ollie Mers. Is it a person or is it a group? I reckon it's a singer, Ollie Mers. Or it might be a feature film for all I know. Glenn Johnson says, if I knock on the door during a live show, would you answer? Yes, Glenn. Are you outside? You'd have to come in. You'd have to come in and visit. I may not hear. That's the trouble. I may not hear. I may be in doing my thing, whatever that is. I may be doing it. But yeah, come and knock on the door, 8 o'clock one of the days, and see what happens. Dean Cooper says, I've been to the Hungry Years, a fab rock club across from Sea Life Centre. In Britain, we have all the, it just sounds so great, doesn't it? In America, they'd say, just from Seattle, you come to our nightclub and it's so cool and lovely. Just the other side of the Atlantic. Whereas we go, yes, just opposite Sea Life Centre. It somehow gets really downplayed, doesn't it? Yeah, it's just across from the men's working club. Nah, I mean, sort of loses a little bit. We tend not to have that sort of... We're just very bad at that bigging it up business. Yeah, so there we go. That's quite interesting. No buts, but his butler would. Oh, yes, of course, my butler might open the door. Hello, the Vobes residence. Could I take your name? I'll tell his Vobeness you're here. Oh, it's Glenn Johnson, Mr. Vobes. He's got rather unusual hair. Is he permitted in? Oh, no, don't let him in. No. Anybody's got one of them, don't let them in. I think I can answer, thanks very much, voice of the strange person at the other end of the hall, if you don't mind. Yes, let Glenn in, please. Very good, sir. You may come in, Mr. Johnson. Yes, but don't mind my butler. Just headbutt him. Steve Pilfold says, we were known for our Yorkshire accents. Oh, I bet you were. Aye. Hello, lads. All right. I'm local in Newhaven. Me and me whippet, we come to club to say hello to lasses. Here, are you having a dance, or shall I put my fist in your face? Now, come on, lass. Let's have a dance on the floor, and I'll take you home, get your coat, you pulled. Eh, lad? Come on, I'm local from Newhaven. Aye. Yes. Linda Kane says, who remembers Jimi Hendrix? I think he was a hairdresser, wasn't he? I went in there once. I never went in again. Took it all off. Where was he? Jimi Hendrix was in the Pavilion Hairdressers in Worthing. Snip, snip here, snip, snip there. Snip a bit, snip a bit more. Snip, 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 snip. The April showers. Snip, 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 snippity, snip, snip, snip. Snip, snippity, snip, snip. They're all going through nightclubs, I think. Steve says, I think we should play Knockdown Ginger on the floor during the show one day. I think Champs would be good at that. Can't remember how Knockdown Ginger goes. I'll have to get my son down. He's my youngest son. He's a ginger. Dean Cooper says, well, but I wouldn't try and knock him down because he's a bodybuilder, so he'll have you over, mate. He'll have you over. Well, I could have said near the Palace Pier, Brighton, folks. Oh, yes, much better. Near the Palace Pier. We're near the Palace Pier. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Palace Pier tonight, we have the likes of Dot Cotton going to perform her miracle escape from a small handbag. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we put the lady into a handbag and we zip her up the top and then we clip the handbag close. How will she ever escape? We put a peg on her nose and we put a hoopla around her middle. Now, it's anyone's guess if she can get out before the big clock. Clock's 12. That'll be Big Ben striking 12. Ha ha. Oh, you better get up in the bell tower. Bang, bang. Sorry. Am I watching Emmerdale? Yes, I think I'm doing all characters from all over the world tonight. Thank you, Vicky. Glenn says, random guests, the way forward. Yes, who's going to be the next random guest on the Vobes show tonight? Ladies and gentlemen. Could be anybody, couldn't it? That would be quite fun. Glenn Johnson, oh, you've done that one. John Mulstad says, you could say hello to my wife, Debbie, or could you even? He says, could you say hello to my wife, Debbie? She will be eternally grateful to me anyway. John, I will certainly do it. Hello, Debbie. How are you? You're looking absolutely divine, Debbie. You are looking stunning tonight. Oh, Debbie, 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 Debbie. Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Please, please, Debbie, stand into this box where I am now going to saw your head off here and I'm going to saw your legs off there. I'm going to push the box over to the right and the left to the left. Now I'm going to mix the boxes up. How will you ever escape? But don't worry. Opportunity knocks. I have a magic wand. Wave the wand, and look, as if by magic, Debbie is now put back together, except her legs are at the top and her head is at the bottom, but the middle is exactly the same place. Whoa! Yeah, hallelujah, ladies and gentlemen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. How do you do it? Knock on someone's front door and run, says Henry. Yeah, I'd like you to do that in a video, Henry. Hello, thank you for joining me. Hello, thank you for joining me. In today's show, I'm going to knock on the door of somebody's house and run. And here is somebody's house. It's number 10 Downing Street. Run! Yeah, anyone know the theme of that? The Devil's Gallop with what's his name? Dick Barton, special agent, with his 3 chums, Jock and Snowy, and the other one who didn't turn up. Dave Salcerna says, it must be Mr. Bean. Yes, it must be. I like the idea of random guests at the door. Yeah, it would be nice if they turned up. I had booked a whole load of random guests, but I don't know who they were, and I didn't give them the address. Malcolm says, now it's the bells, the bells. I call her Juliet. Juliet? Is that what he says? Yes. Oh, the bell. Please don't look at me. I'm so ugly. The bells. The bell. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, ladies and gentlemen, by Victor Hugo, thank you. Played, of course, by the what was his name? He did Hobson's Choice. Fantastic actor. I mean, always acted over the top. Oh, what was his name? Come on, somebody.
I'm so ugly, and you're so beautiful, Esmeralda. I call her Esmeralda. The bells.
That was a fantastic, brilliant film, wasn't it? Lovely film. I haven't read the book, I'm afraid to say, but the book is... what was his name? The actor... Come on, somebody tell me who it was. Not Huey Green. Oh, that was Huey Green earlier, yes. Opportunity knocks. I don't think he said, chat up, Debbie. Oh, no, I don't think he said, hello, Debbie. All right, girl. Know what I mean? How you doing? You don't want to be with him. I'll show you the way, Debbie, my girl. What was his name? What was the famous actor? He was in... Oh, I said... we've had an hour. We've had an hour. I'm getting blackouts on the screen. But we must get his name. Oh, he was in a number of films in the 30s and 40s. Oh, Charles Lawson. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes, Charles Lawson. Oh, yes. What? Hobson's Choice. That was the other film he was in. Was it wrong to put gog poo in a paper bag, set light to it, knock on the door and watch them stamp it out? What is gog poo? That's what I want to know. Knock and Nash was something different where I came from. I'm not sure. Esmeralda. Hugo the Hunchback. Yes, of course. Thank you, Malcolm. Time's up, says Vicky. Time's up. Ding, ding, ding. Time, please. Time, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please will you place all your glasses on the bar now. I'm afraid I have to call time. Time is up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. Says Henry. Yeah, thank you, Henry. If you could now all make your way out of the door. That's it. That's the show done, please. Can you make your way out now? Thank you. Come on. Haven't you got homes to go to? All these people at the nightclub. Come on, make your way home. Over the sticky floor that we've been. If those of you came to the end of the pier, can you get on a boat and row back? Yeah. Those of you who came from opposite the Sea Life Centre, could you jump back in the water, please, and have a nice swim? Thank you. That's lovely. There we are. We've had a lovely show. And those of you... Hang on, just one moment, please. Whose screws were these? Whose screws? You screwed up again? Oh, dear. And for the last bit of the show, just to say, here it is, curtain up. Yes, the grubby curtain returns. Woohoo! Anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute hoot. Have a wonderful weekend. No doubt I'll be back on Friday because there'll be sod else all to do because the weather is going to be absolutely nasty, but never mind. We'll do our best to transmit some little bit of life and entertainment and fun and games from a little house in Worthing to you wherever you happen to be. The Grand Canyon and the big ranch. Lovely. Till we meet again, thank you so much. And Arrivi Dirt Cheap. Let me turn this into wherever the end credit thing is. There it is. And say, goodbye, goodbye. It's been a joy. Some sort of joy anyway.